once again for the renegade master. Back 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 once again for the renegade master.
Hello my renegades and welcome back, and we are here straight after watching Love Island season 10 episode 32. All I can say is in that villa it was awkward as hell. Fucking full on Cool Runnings, wasn't it? I mean, nobody knew where to put themselves. All the conversations are all starting at once. All the shit was flying here, there and everywhere. So Kath and Scott went and had their chat. With Kath, I have to say I do see like a pattern. Like she has a certain type of pattern, and it started with Andre. Like she'll get to know them. If there's certain things that she doesn't really like about them, then once someone else comes in and she starts to connect with someone else, she'll move on to that person. The same thing with Elam, but with Elam, I think she's completely different in how she interacts and reacts with him than she is with Scott. I think Elam is, I don't care what anyone says, I think Elam is the better choice for her, and I'm kind of glad that she picked Elam. Of course, the guys in Casa Amor, the same with the girls when they came in the villa, we all know they're going to be playing a part in order to stay in the freaking villa, so it's all to play for at the end of the day. I just didn't like the fact that Scott was trying to put his situation on par with Ella and Ty's. It was nowhere near the same at the end of the day. And Kath was right to say, actually, don't do that. Don't put us on par with them, because it ain't nowhere near the same. Yes, he was hurt when she came in with Elam, but with Scott, I think it was more his ego was hurt than anything else. Because at the end of the day, this man don't know how to communicate. Scott didn't know how to communicate his feelings appropriately with Kath to let her know exactly where his head was at and where his standing was with her. So at the end of the day, she went to Casa Amor knowing that yes, they have that connection with each other, but they ain't in that with each other at the end of the day. So she was completely open to speak to and get to know anybody who she wanted. He keeps going on about them kissing. So fucking what? So what? Because at the end of the day, when you were getting to know Kath, you were wanting to get to know Leah too. You were flinging your mouth about here, there and everywhere, but then you stuck with Kath at the end of the day. So don't put that shit on Kath as well at the same time. That's what I'm saying, but you like let me know what you think. When they were talking around, like, talking about the fire pit thing, it was actually about Scott. It was Scott who called them to the fire pit to say he's been hearing shit come up. He heard his name come up several times when they were sat in the courtyard, and he wanted to put everyone on blast. So it was about Scott. He didn't get up there to protect Kath. He really did not get up there to protect Kath. And at the end of the day, Kath did say to him, before he even called them to the fire pit, because he told Kath what he was going to do, she said to him, don't do that. She said at the end of the day, you need to take the lads to one side and have a discussion with them, because some of the girls ain't involved in the bullshit at the end of the day. He decided he was not going to listen to Kath and do what he wanted. So for him to throw it back in Kath's face and say, I stuck up for you, I protected you, is a bag of bullshit. Is a bag of bullshit. But I will say with Kath, the one thing I don't fucking like is when you're having your conversation with someone. Yes, it probably, you feeling it's not going your way, or he's not listening, or this, that and the other. You get up and then you holler for freaking wit across the fucking courtyard and shout what you're discussing. That, me, myself, I would say was immature. It was immature behaviour, because she didn't have to do that. All she had to do was make her point with Scott and then say, you know what, we will have to agree to disagree, and then keep it moving, keep it pushing, go to where you needed to go to, fume, get it out with the girls, whatever. But it was unfair of Kath to put Whitney in that position. And it was good of Whitney to turn around, and Whitney didn't pay it no mind. She was just telling Kath to calm, because she was not going to put herself on blast like that. Zach and Katie, and they had a chat, and like she's as Katie said that she was genuinely happy for them. So I think she's just at the point where she's stepping back. Yes, Zach said X, Y, and Z to her before she went to Casa Amor, but to be appreciative, they didn't know that you know, Molly was going to be thrown back into the fix. And at the end of the day, Zach has always had his eye on Molly from, not from the get-go, I wouldn't say from the get-go, but definitely from that kiss, from the kiss in the game at the challenge, was when they had their eye on each other, and it's been that way ever since. So to be fair, everybody knew he was going to have picked Molly anyway. That's the only person he probably would have recoupled back up with, because he had that option of her. I think that if she wasn't there, he probably would have stayed single and then got back with Katie when she got back in. So then you go to Montel. My Lord of mercy. Montel's a joke, isn't he? He's an absolute joke. I've never known one person to literally sit and have a conversation with someone, a serious conversation, wherein you're trying to apologize to the person or say what happened with that person and not look that person in the eye. Because my thing is yes, there's certain situations where some people can't give direct eye contact, and I understand that completely. But it's like he will glance to her, then glance off, and like he apologized to her but didn't look at her. I think it was the most awkward apology ever given. Like, awkward apology ever given. I just don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about how he acts with Leah. But I don't think he's been with a girl like Leah, a girl that basically will turn around and tell you what's what. If she ain't happy with something, she will tell you. She ain't keeping that shit in, and she ain't going to play games with it. I don't think he's dealt with a woman like her before, and that's where his behaviour is coming in from. So with Sammy, as I've already said with that man, he's a waste of space. Sammy is a complete waste of space. Because Sammy always, as I said in the last episode, keeps putting Jess on the back burner. And then when he picks someone else, yeah, he will pick someone else over Jess, but then play his games with Jess. Still want to keep reeling in Jess. Because I believe that Sammy thinks that he's better than Jess, or he can get better than Jess. But he wants to keep Jess on side. At least if the recouple or something happens, that someone will keep him in the villa. But when he went over to go and talk to Jess, all I saw was Amber's face. Amber was hawking them hard. And I'm like, Amber, my dear, calm yourself. Like, really calm yourself. Because Sammy is a bit of a player. And I think you got the metal of him when he did the kiss between you and Gabby, just to kind of decide where he was going to go. And the fact that when you recoupled and Jess came in, he turned around in front of you and said to Jess, don't read anything into it. And he still wants to talk to Jess and get to know Jess. Don't hawk them like that, because I swear down, Sammy is not, I don't know what game Sammy is playing, but he's not worth any woman's time at the end of the day. Because this man doesn't have the maturity to even know who the hell he wants to be with, or even be honest and open in how he feels, instead of always giving it this, because that's what he does, gives it that, and thinking he's always going to keep Jess on side. Jess seriously needs to understand that Sammy, I don't think Sammy wants her like that. I must say, I don't think Sammy wants her like that. I think he's just keeping her on side, and she needs to come into her strengths to be able to say enough is enough. At the end of the day, you're not going to keep stringing me along, so it's either fish or cut bait, we're together or we're not together. If you're getting to know me, you're getting to know me because I want you to be my boyfriend, or vice versa, or see how far this can go and if it can work outside of the villa at the end of the day. Other than that, I'll be saying get gone, go do what you need to do, but don't think I'm going to keep sitting here waiting for your ass to come and choose me, because that's not what it's about. So then we get to Ty and Ella. Me, myself, I would have said that Ella needs to just leave Ty be. Needs to leave Ty be. Let him go through what he's going through without her constantly in his ear, because that's what she was doing all through that night. Even to the point of, she didn't even speak to Uzi. Like, you brought this man in because you wanted to bring this man in because you said you were closed off but you were open. Don't know how that works, how you can be closed off and open at the same time. So you brought this man in and you didn't even speak to him that whole night you left him alone, like for real, left him alone. And this is what I mean with Ella. She didn't stand by her decision. She said she made that decision because she was closed off, but she was open. But she wanted to be open to get to know someone because she knew Uzi from the outside, and she liked him then, and she wanted to see if that connection could grow or go anywhere. But she still wanted to get to know Ty. Now, I see people been making comments in terms of Ty saying that, you know, it's a double standard. He was able to do this, but now that Ella's done it, he don't like it. What people have to remember is when they were open to speak to other people, right? They were open to speak to other people when they were open. Ella chose not to, but then pushed the decision onto Ty because she didn't want him to. So correct me if I'm wrong, Ty was the one, when he was first feeling Leah, went to Leah and told her that it can't go any further because he wants to see where things go with Ella for real. Okay, that's what Ty did. And then further along the line, you see Ty change his behaviors and how he acted because he was getting to know Ella, and he knew Ella didn't like him doing certain things in a certain way. Yes, he's an idiot and he says things, understandably so. Then they went on their date, if you cast your minds back, and that's where he decided that he would close off with Ella. Yes, he mentioned, oh, that doesn't make us boyfriend or girlfriend, and it doesn't, to be fair. From my view, it doesn't make them boyfriend or girlfriend. What it does is closes them off to anybody else that may come in to the villa, and the fact that it sends a message that we are closed off to each other. We are literally at a point where we want to just get to know each other. We want to take this further and see how it will pan out outside of the villa, like in reality, how it would pan out for us. There's going to come a time where they probably, if it did work out, they would have sat down and said, well, let's put a label on what our relationship is. And that's when they would have said, well, we're boyfriend and girlfriend. Closing off doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be boyfriend and girlfriend at that stage. It's just literally sending out a message to everybody else to say that we're not going to be interested in anybody else. We're not going to be interested in talking to anybody else. It's just me and this person from here on out. And from the day that Ty did that, he didn't chat to nobody. So no one can say it's a double standard. He didn't chat to nobody. At the end of the day, Ella didn't stand by her decision in terms of bringing Uzi in, because the reason why Ella made that decision, because she's chatting guff about wanting to get to know him because of the outside, The real reason she made that decision was because she thought Ty would do it to her. She did not trust enough in Ty and their relationship to walk in that place single and possibly have egg in her face. It was a chance that she should have taken, because it was a chance that Ty took, and look what's happened now. So at the end of the day, they were talking about loyalties, and basically Ty is right, as I said before in my last episode. At the end of the day, Uzi had no loyalties. Uzi had no loyalties to Zach. Uzi had no loyalties to Ty. The person that had the loyalty to Ty was Ella. So for her to then turn around and tell Ty, but I wasn't disloyal, she's really, I don't know if she's doing it to be obtuse, but she's really not getting it. She's not getting the issue at all. She's really not getting the issue, because she's trying to say that she was then open to get to know. No, you were not open to get to know anybody, and that's what people need to understand. She was not open at that stage to get to know anybody. At the end of the day, she should have sat down with Uzi and told him what's what, because Uzi had no clear idea of this connection that she had with Ty, because she made no mention of that when they were in Casa Amor. Yes, she said that, you know, she's with Ty. He kind of knew that she was with Ty at the end of the day. And all she kept on saying was, I'm closed off, but I'm open. No, it's either one or the other. You're closed off completely, can't really get to know him, or you're open to get to know him. Because being closed off and then being open don't make no sense. Does not make no lick of sense at all. Then you have to go in and share the rooms with these people now. with the tension, with everything that was going on, I would have myself slept outside the first night, to be fair. I would have slept outside the first night. I didn't realize actually as well that there's a separate room. There was a separate room with the single beds for the singles to sleep in, which is what they did. And Ty looked like he was sat up all night. Now, as it starts to play out even more, like, you know, Ty and Ella go for another chat, and she's trying to make an excuse of that he's playing to be petty because they went out, the singles went out on a cocktail date, and Ty was flirting with Katie, and you know the gist. Ty was flirting with Katie on a cocktails night and stuff, and basically saying that he would like to get to know Katie because at the end of the day he's single. She's made him single, so he's single. Katie's single, so ergo they're gonna like have a little bit of a banter, a bit of a flirt. What I noticed though is that when they came back in from that date, Katie neglected to mention exactly what was decided between her and Ty at the table, but also Jess didn't say shit either, because they knew what would happen if they did. It would be World War motherfucking 3 up in that place. So then you get Ty, who goes over to Katie and asks to speak to her, which is what they did. And Katie ain't stupid. Katie's not stupid at all. She ain't gonna put her all in Ty. At the end of the day, what she's saying is she's single. There ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of flirt, and there really ain't. There really is nothing wrong with a little bit of a flirt. So Ella's pre-ing all of this. Bearing in mind, she ain't even spoke to Uzi at all. So Ella's pre-ing all of this. Jess is trying to tell Ella that she needs to calm down, and I'm like, yeah, you do, because you made your choice, you made your bed, now you've got to freaking lie in it at the end of the day. So then Ella's turning around and saying that she needs to tell Uzi X, Y, and Z, and Jess is saying, no, don't do that, because you brought him in here, at least get to know him and see if there was a connection there or not. You can't just let him go just because of what's happening with Ty in that sense. I think that's what she said. If I was Ella, I wouldn't have listened to Jess, because at the end of the day, my thing is if you want Ty this much, if you wanted Ty this much and you've realised how much you want him, then Uzi is not going to be the man for you any way, shape or form. He's not going to be the man for you. So what you needed to do was to have the respect, go over to Uzi, sit down and tell him what's what and where your feelings are and how you're feeling right now. And the fact of it is you, Ella, as I'm saying, is going to have to be the bad guy in this. She's going to have to be the bad guy in this, because at the end of the day, she can't keep saying to Ty, I want you, I miss you, I want this to work between us. I didn't bring Uzi back to hurt you in any way, shape or form, but I really want us to be back on track. If you want you and Ty to be back on track, you are going to have to be the bad guy, and you are going to have to go to Uzi, pull your big girl pants up, go to Uzi and sit down like an adult and tell him exactly where your head is at, exactly where your thoughts are at. Because at the end of the day, it ain't fair to Uzi. It's not fair to Uzi, because Uzi is of a mind where he wants to be with Ella. He wanted to see if it would work at the end of the day. But when Ella did speak to Uzi, it was more as a case of she still wanted to get to know him. And I'm like, are you seriously just taking the piss now? You're like, is she that dense? I'm sorry, but is she that dense, like really well and truly? Because you said you are saying one thing to Uzi, and then you're going behind Uzi's back, and then you're saying something else to Ty. Like you're literally still trying to reel Ty back in, because that's where you want to be. That is where your head and your heart is. It's with Ty. So she's gonna have to be the bad guy in it. She's gonna have to be the bad guy and let either Ty go or let Uzi go. But she's gonna have to make a choice. She is going to have to, as difficult as it is, she's going to have to make a choice at the end of the day, because she built this situation. Ty didn't build the situation. Ella built the situation. So then you got the thing where, like, she's thinking that, you know, man's going to be petty. That's her thinking at the end of the day. It's not Ty's thinking. At the end of the day, Ty is right. She rendered him single. So if he's single, he's going to act single. At the end of the day, if Ella's gonna start be flirty and chatty and everything with Uzi, then she can't expect Ty to sit there and be waiting for her to make her choice, because to him, she would have already have made her choice. So at the end of the day, I rate the fact that Ty is going to get on and go and do himself. I've already said the Ty that was with Ella at the moment is not going to be that Ty. He's going to harden himself. But Ella needs to not wait too long, otherwise Ty's going to throw that whole shit out the window. So then you see, like, Jess speaks to Sammy and basically lays it out for him in regards to how he's been treating her and the fact that he puts her on the second burn, and that she found it disgusting that, you know, he went and he kissed these two girls and then to make a decision and then picked Amber. And it's true. I find that hella disgusting, like hella disgusting. But also on the flip side, I know that it was kind of down to Ty telling him and Montel to go do their thing, because Ty weren't doing nothing. But I think he was kind of living vicariously through Montel and Sammy that night when he was telling them to go do their thing. But at the end of the day, as Leah said, no one forces their head down onto a person's lips. They absolutely make that choice to take the action that they take, and then they have to live in that accountability and take responsibility for their actions, which is what they fail to do. And they always come back with some stupid fucking excuse. Sammy always does it, comes back with some stupid excuse. So yeah, he's so just told him what's what and has gone to do her own thing. Then you see Sam go and speak to Amber, and like Amber's all in already. Like she just reminds me of this of a girl that is literally gonna cling on like a limpet up a tree to a person because she's got their interest and she don't want Sammy's interest to go. But I'm sorry, Amber, you're looking at the wrong person for that, because Sammy ain't the type of person to give you the reassurance that you're looking for. I mean, he can't even reassure Jess at the end of the day, because he's another one who wants his cake and eating it too. So then you get to the bit where, you know, Uzi and Ty had a conversation as well. And basically, as I said, he didn't know that the connection between Ella and Ty was so strong, and I thought it was good that them two had a chat at the end of the day, so there's no hard feelings between them. And it's not a case of, oh, boys are gonna be boys. It's not a case of that at the end of the day. Uzi owed no loyalty to Ty, and Ty gets that. The loyalty should have come from Ella, and that's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. People will agree, people will disagree at the end of the day, but I don't think Ella bringing Uzi in humbled Ty, because at the end of the day, the only way Ty may have been humbled and being quick to close things off with Ella was when they were open. That would have been the opportunity, but it was never taken because Ella chose not to take it. So, as I said, that's all I can say right now. That is all I can say right now. But yeah, the next bit is just, I think Ella's just gonna have to be the bad guy in it. Ella is going to have to be the bad guy in it and make a decision about who she wants, and then stand by that decision and not be airy-fairy about it. I mean, because things are already gonna pop off, because in the next episode you see that they're all outside in the sun enjoying themselves, and Ty is like stroking Katie's hair and saying, oh, it feels soft. And then you see Ella literally just storm over there and say, oh, is this what you're doing now? And then they're both literally having an argument outside. Now, what Ella needs to realise is that Uzi's watching all of this. Uzi's watching this, so he knows that at that point he will be flogging a dead horse with Ella. Because my thing is how are you going to go on the way that you're going on? Because how you go on dictates Ty's behaviour in that sense, because that's how it's going to come across. How Ella goes on dictates Ty's behaviour, because at the end of the day, Ty is single. Ty is fully single, so he can do whatever the fuck he wants under the title of singledom. Ella is coupled off with Uzi, so Ella is really going to be in the position where she could end up losing both of them, because Uzi's going to be watching all of this and how she's reacting to Ty and be thinking, you know what, I don't want no part of this. So he may even turn around and decide, you know what, me and you are done too. And Ella's then on the island by herself. So it's either Ella makes her decision. If she wants Ty, she's going to have to let Uzi go. If she wants Uzi, she's going to have to tell Ty and stop telling him she misses him and all this, that and the other, and she wants to be with him. That bit is cut dead. You get to know Uzi in your own right at that point. So as I'll say, Ella is going to have to be the bad guy in this. That's where my thoughts are. But you can let me know what your thoughts are. And on that note, I am going to leave it there. And I shall be back, my renegades, and everybody else out there who has been clicking in and joining in on the chat and listening to my videos. And as I always say, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button so you know when I'll be back. And everything else in between. Speak to you all soon. Peace out.